Yeah, everybody, I want to talk about the blizzard of 2022. My version of the story from Western New York and a lot of other people. Like it was all over the country. So basically, my work was canceled. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go shopping. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna go maybe grocery shopping. So like I go out and I see it's like warm. It's like almost like 45, 50 degrees. It looks like it's raining. I'm like, the storm ain't gonna come till later. It's like literally too hot, right? It's too hot for the blizzard to come. It's probably gonna come later. But we didn't even know how bad it was gonna be. We knew it was gonna be a little bit bad. So I was like, I went to Target. Then I bought some blackberries and a bunch of random stuff. Then I was like, okay. So then it was like raining really hard. Then it started getting windy. I was like, okay. Then I go to the gym, and then it was crazy. So I started doing the leg day because I've been skipping leg days for like months, literally. Yeah, I know it sounds pathetic, but yeah, because I like run a lot, so I skip leg days because like some of my legs are like fresh for cardio and stuff. You know, it's not a good idea, but that's what I do sometimes. So then I was like, go there. I started doing my leg days, and then all of a sudden, like when I was driving, so I get out of the car, I go to the gym, and then like all of a sudden, like this wind comes like, and then the blizzard starts when I'm driving. So when I'm driving away from Target, I could go to like Bath and Body Works, but they were like closed because it was like probably like 7:30 and when I'm like, I gotta come back later. They because I want to get some of that lotion for the back of your hands because like my back of my hands get dry in the winter, and also I shouldn't even mention that, but whatever. But like then I go to the gym. Then when I was going to the gym, it started getting bad. I was like, oh my god. So then like I go in, I was talking to the guy in the front. I was like, man, it's twice as bad when you get out there. He's like, oh, I know, I could see it's bad. I'm like, no, I'm telling you, it's twice as bad because he was inside, and then he was not believing me. I was like, dude, it's like terrible. Because you could see like the wind and everything, but then like I was doing leg day like I just said. Then like the people in the gym were like zombies with the earbuds and the like iPad earbuds or whatever iPod. I was like, hold on a second. And I was like, oh my god, these guys are like zombies. I was looking out the window because like the gym, like the whole front side of the gym is like basically a window. I was like, oh my god, that is crazy. I was actually like opening my mouth like, whoa. And then all of a sudden like the people weren't like they wouldn't even notice. I was like, I didn't see the one guy. Do you see that? And like they didn't even like respond. They didn't even hear me. I'm like, do you guys not realize when you gotta get home because this is like a thing with like 40 miles an hour wind with gusts up to 80. And then like when I was like, what was that? And then when I was like walking to the car, I was like, oh my god, I felt like I couldn't even like walk. Like I think it was like an 80-90 mile an hour gust came, and then I was like, oh my god, I'm like, I can't. My leg's so out of shape, I can't even like stand up straight. Like it almost was like a hurricane gust. It was insane. I was like, what the hell? I had to be like 90 miles an hour because like somebody like me, like I'm tall and I'm strong, and like it was like almost like made me where I couldn't even like walk forward. I was like walking forward and walking backward. I'm like, what am I doing? And so I had to actually like crunch down like a couple inches like to get lower center of gravity. And then I was like, oh, and I was like, oh, hey, I got it now. But then I was like, this is sweet. And then they had to close the gym, so I was gonna do like a little bit of back day because I wanted to get ready for Christmas, so I could do 2 workouts in one. So I only did like some exercises that were just like from 2 exercises from the back exercise because I have 3 workouts and a long story, whatever. But then I just did my leg workout. Then I did that. Then I was like, I only did 2 exercises. I was like, all right, I gotta go. I did enough. This is good. Then I was like, oh my god, I'm scared to get home. So I went on driving home. This was so annoying. Like, so many people didn't even have the lights on. In like New York, you have to have your lights on. If any type of precipitation, rain and snow, anything, you had to have your lights on, even if it's a little bit. And you had to have your lights on like an hour before and after the sun goes on. So it's like and then so basically what happened. So then I was like, yo, so it's like 3 cars when I'm driving home from the gym that had no lights. I'm like, oh my god, these guys are complete idiots. So like if they get more than 5-6 feet ahead of you, it was like, I can't see where the car is. Like, oh my god, it was like stealth mode. It was like, you know what I mean? I was like from a video game, like stealth mode. I don't know if you ever played 0 Hour with like the stealth quad cannons. That you have like a stealth army. It's kind of like that. So then I was like, oh my god. And then like so many people had to, I'm like, this is ridiculous. So if a car gets so far in front of you, you can't see anything. And then you would get like at least like 3 times just driving home. Like literally not even that far. I actually couldn't see for like completely 5 or 10 seconds. And it was raining like crazy before. So if you hit your brakes, you actually slide. And then like when I was just turning right just to get out of the gym, I was like, oh my god, I can't even like turn right to get out of here. So like this is like screwing me up. I'm like getting screwed up. And then like all of a sudden like like it was just like a mess, just getting hung. So I had to put my brights on. I put my emergency flashers on, and then I was starting to get like nervous. I had to turn like left 2 lanes to get in the left lane and then turn and to get onto the street. Then I was like, if I turn left, a car in front of me is not going to see me. If they're turning left and I'm turning left, they're going to hit me. So I was like, oh my god. And then I was like, if I see either they're not going to see me, I'm not going to see them. And I was like driving this. I was like, this is terrible. And this is before the driving ban. The driving ban was like way later. And it's not like I watch the news all the time, so I'm going to know about it every time. I mean, every like the second it happens. So then I was like, oh my god, until I like, and then like 2 times when I was like going down, I had to slow down to 5 miles an hour. I was about to pull over to the side of the road, but I kept going like at like 5 to 10 miles an hour. I was like, because like there were gusts, like I was like 40 mile an hour gusts. I was like, this is insane. I cannot even move in this. I was like, and if I stop, the car behind me, if they like lose complete visibility, they're not gonna see me. So then I'm like, oh my god. So I didn't come to a complete stop. I just kept going like real slowly. And then I was like, shit. And then all of a sudden all these like trees started coming down. Like right in front of me, this tree like pops over, this giant pine tree this pine tree is probably like 50 years old. It's older than me. And then I was like, dude, this giant pine tree is so sad, that tree. And then like it was on the other side of the road. So like I had to like drive around it, but I had to run over like the very top of it because it was all the way across to the road. But just the top part of it, it was just like a stick. So it's just like driving on a stick. And then I was like, oh my god. So then I turn left, I get out, and then it was just like a complete crazy show. I was like, what the hell? So then I was like worried about my bird and my fish. And then I was like, okay, so like I have a tropical bird and fish. So I was thinking, okay, I got this like battery thing, but I don't know if this battery has enough amps and enough like capacity to keep the fish tank going. Because usually if the power goes off, the longest it goes off is usually 9 hours. But I didn't know like this thing was going for over 2 days straight. So I'm like, okay, I'm just worried about I could survive in my house 50 degrees with a jacket on, or even 40 degrees. But my bird, my fish, I know this is actually people that have like medical problems. That's it. Like I know that's like talking about people is important too, you know. But I was just worried about my pets, and then I'm like, okay, so like it was this crazy, but the electric didn't go off luckily, and I have a gas stove for backup in case the electric goes off. Because I live in a cold place. I mean, it's cold in the winter, so basically like then I go out. I was like, yo, my side door. This is like a couple hours later. My side door is completely blocked. My front door is completely blocked, but it's on the porch, so I could basically took a broom. I had to keep brushing out a spot like every like couple hours, and then eventually when I went out to shovel, I barely got out my front door. I broke the broom trying to shovel. That broom just snapped in half because I was like, actually like there's so much snow, there was so much weight on the broom, it just broke. So I go out, I'm like, oh my god, and then the snow on the porch was basically up to my hips, and I'm like 6'4", so I'm like, oh my god, this is crazy. It's like up this high on me. So then like it was like minus 20 degrees below zero wind gust. So like the back of my neck and my face like frozen. My face felt like an ice cube just being out there for a short time. I was like, oh my god, this is so crazy. I was like, so eventually I got out there, but like one thing that of the storm I remember is just the sound it made. It made this like wind whipping sound. It was like it was just like non-stop, just relentless. It sounded like if you've seen a hurricane video in like Florida. It sounded like it was like a Category 1 hurricane, but like the sound it made, it was like almost like at times it was almost like a Category 2 hurricane. But I know a blizzard's completely different. I was like, holy crap! The sound it made, like I remember that sound. Like that's the one thing that sticks in my mind from the storm. It's the sound. It was like the wind hitting wind. It wasn't like the wind was hitting trees because it was like there was no tree branches you don't hit because it was winter time. I mean there's no like like the maple trees, the leaves. There's no like leaves or anything. So you hear like. It's just like hard, just the sound is like hard to describe. I recorded it on my security camera, but didn't really pick up the sound very well, so I'm not even gonna bother trying to show you guys that. But like, yeah, and then I was like, man, it was crazy. And then like, I had to shovel literally over a couple of days, over 7 hours. I'm not kidding, because I have a long drive, not a real long drive, but it's like decently long for a city kind of. But and then like. I almost fatigued twice, and I'm like, I gotta like limit my shoveling to 2 hours because I mean not 2 hours, no, half hour, because like I was shoveling over 2 hours, 3 hours. I have a lot of endurance, and like I shovel like literally the people next door, they have like 5 kids, and I was doing what 5 kids and an adult were doing by myself, and across the street I was doing what like 3 adults were doing. I was literally shoveling what multiple people would shovel in a day. Like I was like dude, but I actually got fatigued. I actually felt like sick twice. This is over a couple like. in two different times I was like, I gotta start timing how long I'm doing it because it's just gonna like kill me, like, because like I'm in I want to say kind of good shape. Who's gonna show up with 2-3 hours at a time, like going like at a fast rate of speed? You know, most people can't even do that. You know, some people have heart attacks and stuff. And I have a snowblower, but I wanted to take it to the damn shop. I didn't have the thing, and I probably could have made money with the damn snowblower. But I got a small car, that's beside the point. But and then I was like, so now I was just worried, and then like, yo, people were dying, people were freezing in the snow, and I was like, and I couldn't get, and I was supposed to go grocery shopping. I didn't have really any good food, but I had like leftover foods. I had like all this like stuff you could boil and random ass crap. I mean, I had to go outside and shovel every couple hours just to keep the doors open, and I needed an emergency. And like, I was listening to the police scanner and the firemen were getting stuck. It was crazy. I was like, holy crap! But it's just like the shovel, and like, a lot of people had it worse than me though, because I was in the house. But I almost got stuck, like coming home from the gym though, because like there really wasn't a travel advisory, and like I needed to get groceries. There was like it was like raining and it was warm. This is like, and like it didn't look like it was gonna even snow for the whole day. You know, I was like, it's gonna snow like way later. So I was like, that's why a lot of people were like got stuck and they got stranded because they seen the rain, and they're like, it's gonna take a couple hours to slow down. I mean, to cool down and for the snow to come, because it doesn't do that. It doesn't just go from rain to snow. If it goes from like rain, it usually turns into like a mix. Then it turns to like snow. Like, and if it does go from rain to snow, it's usually like a light snow. Like, because I just know from years of experience. And then I was like, oh crap. So what's up with this game right here? Yeah, and I was like, yeah, people, and I was watching these like people in Florida. These like the last hurricane, I forget the name of it. And I was like, that's like some extreme stuff. It almost kind of gives you like an adrenaline rush when you see adrenaline rush when you see it, because it's like so intense. It's like crazy. I was like, it almost like knocked me out, and my dude, I'm almost like, yeah, I needed a scar because I almost got like frostbite in my face. Like, but I think your face is more resistant to frostbite than other parts of your body. I don't even know that. But hey, look at this Yuri's game. Yeah, but yeah, that's gotten in my story. I don't know if there's any other details. Just that, like, yeah, it was like you couldn't even drive for like probably like a week. What day is today? Thursday. Today's the first day you could. That's the 6 days you can't go anywhere. Yeah, let's see. Yeah, this game, I remember this game. Basically what happened is it looks like I'm not doing. I don't want to spoil it for you. It's a little back and forth. That's all I'll say for now. Yeah, I seen like all the little kids were playing in the snow, but like it was like a ghost town. There was not one car on the street for like 3-4 days. It was like a ghost town. Nobody was walking. My footprints. I went to the middle of the street. I went out at midnight, when in the middle of the blizzard, and the next day after the blizzard when it stopped on Christmas Eve. It's like near Christmas, and I was like, holy crap! I'm like, I own the neighborhood. I'm the only one here. My footprints were the only footprints on the block in a populated area. I'm the only one that's crazy enough to go on an actual blizzard. But I was like, my house is right there. It's not like I was taking any risk or anything. But I actually starting to think this is getting dangerous. This is like not even like where it's like, it's just like a storm. This is dangerous. This could kill somebody if the power goes out. And then I looked at the weather, and it was like 20, 30 mile an hour winds for tomorrow and the next day and the next day. I was like, there's no way. I was like, this has got to be an error. And it wasn't an error. I was like, non-stop 2 days. I was like, that's crazy. I was like, it killed like freaking 40 people, man. But they keep saying a deadly storm. I don't like them. I don't think they should label it like that, because it's kind of like more like fear. Like you're trying to make people scared when you're saying it's deadly. But if you make mistakes during a storm, you could get killed. But if you don't make mistakes in like a blizzard or a hurricane, generally you shouldn't. You should like survive it. You know what I mean? Unless you got like the people that are vulnerable, are people with like diabetes, overweight, medical conditions, elderly. Those are the people that have problems. Like being overweight during this storm is not a good idea, because if you're stuck, you're gonna be too fatigued real early to shove yourself out. You know. And then this one guy I work with, he said that he wanted $120 just to plow his driveway, and it wasn't even that big, so he only did a section for 60. They like, dude, they charge you $150 just to do. I'm like, dude, that's like one more than people making a day, 150, just to do like one job that takes like a couple minutes. That makes that it's completely retarded. You know, I'm going in for an attack, and then like still, and then I was like, yeah. I mean, the rest of it's on like the regular news. I mean, you can see for yourself. But and again, the sound that it made was just sticking in my head for a long time. It's just like, it's like it's just hard to explain the sound. You had to hear it. But then like, oh yeah, but my one cousin, she actually moved to like somewhere in like the middle of California where they have these wildfires, and that stuff, the smoke, you could die from smoke inhalation over there. Yeah, some people die from carbon monoxide here, cause like my like just carbon monoxide from the furnaces. Like if you're on like near where the furnace exhaust is, and if that goes into your intake, I think I don't even know. Maybe you could get carbon monoxide that way. That's what I'm a little worried about. But so this looks like I wasn't even doing okay, and then I just like turned it around and went and got this guy. So yeah, that's kind of my story where I thought I was gonna get frostbite. I was like almost fatigued twice, and I had to start taking these like energy gels, and then you had to shovel out these giant chunks where the snowplow pushes into your driveway. I took like all these like energy like kind of like fruit snacks. I just took a whole bunch. I just went like nonstop for 2 hours. Like I just went insane, like nonstop. And then I was like, yeah, I ain't playing around. I'm getting this stuff done. And I just went out and I finally went out. And hey, there's a little bit more details, but I can't think of everything now. But my friends were alright. My family, everyone was okay that I know. I don't know. But it's just the people who got screwed. It's just really people who just like went far. Like if you go into the ghetto. Wait, hold on. Now, what I want to say, the most dangerous part was like. All the stores were shut down because if there's a travel ban, they shut down the stores, so that you can't go into the supermarket or corner store anywhere, any store, just to stay warm enough. And it was like so bad that in just a few minutes it could like basically almost give me frostbite in the back of my neck, like. And I think that this one girl got messed up, like because I think like she was like in the ghetto, and it's basically if it's a super dangerous area, like you can't like go knock on a random person's door and asking for help because you don't know who it could be. It could be somebody shady. It could be somebody good. So you just can't trust anybody, and so like you just wait in your car for the fireman or the police coming, and I guess you don't make it sometimes. So what I'm end up saying is like basically, if you could walk, you could walk, but if you're like in the middle of nowhere or you're super far away, then you're in trouble, and those are the people who got screwed, and people are abandoning their cars. That's pretty crazy. All right. So, and the firemen are getting stuck. So that's about it. Thanks for watching.